Why main method made it as a static? What is the reason? Why main method made it as a static? So as I mentioned already, static means it's a common, right? Common property, it represents the common property. And you have seen main method below, there are a lot of lines of code, right? There are a lot of lines of code. So that lot of lines of code, every line of code, the main method will be called. If you want to execute each line, main method has to be called. So main method has to be called. If main method is not made as a static, every line you are calling the main method, right? Memory allocates. Suppose there are 100 lines, 100 times memory allocates. It's a waste of time, right? Waste of memory, right? So every line occupies one memory for the main method. So in order to avoid that, leading extra memory allocation, they made it as a static. So if they made it as a static, what will happen? Memory allocate only once, and you call n number of times, same memory will be reused. So that's why they made main method as a static, because it has to execute each and every line. We don't know how many lines of code will be there under main method. So each line will call, if that line has to be executed, main method has to be called. Otherwise that line won't execute. So that purpose, they made it as a static. Is this clear? Now I'm coming to void keyword. Simple answer you give why main method made it as a static means, if you don't make main method as a static, it leads to extra memory allocation. To avoid extra memory allocation, they made it as a static. If they want, they're still not convinced, you give more explanation, how I explained. Okay, for each line, if you don't make main method as a static, so when you call main method for each line execution, it will allocate the memory. Suppose if you make it as a static, it won't do that. That is the difference. You have to show that difference, okay? Now, next void keyword. So void keyword in the method signature, we have seen void, right? Void, it just only used in the method signature line only, nowhere else. Where you can use this? Only in the method signature line. So you will use only in the method signature line. But which method? Only static methods? Not required. Any method. You can create I told you already yesterday, simple one term I have given. Methods are two types. Static methods and non-static methods. Sir, till now we have shown only one static method. What is the other static methods? I already given the syntaxes, how to create a static methods. So I have already given how to create a static methods. So what will happen if you declare a method as a void? What is mean by that? If you declare a method with void, that means that method is not going to return anything. Not going to return means what? It won't give you any output to you. You cannot use that method output anywhere else. That is the meaning of void. If you declare your method is a void, no output will be returned to you. That is the meaning of void keyword. So Static method syntax with void. I already repeated. One more time I'm repeating. Access modifier, static, void, method name, parentheses, curly bracket, calculations plus logical statements, semicolon, curly bracket ends. Non-static method syntax with void. Say access modifier, void, method name, parentheses, curly bracket, calculations plus logical statements, curly bracket end. So can you tell me what is the difference between this and this statement?
Static keyword is not there.
That's the difference. So if a method has a static keyword, that is a static method. If a method doesn't have a static keyword, what you call that? Non-static method or instance. That's a simple difference, very simple difference. Okay. Always methods have a wide keyword, not required. You can create a methods without void also. Then what is the purpose of that methods? That methods will return a value to you. After calculation, you need some output. You want to use that output somewhere else. Then you should not use a void keyword. Then you have to use in the void place what data that output is. That data type you have to write in the void place. So that is what this. If you don't write void in the method signature line, then that method will return some value. If you write a void, that method won't return any value. If you don't write void, that means that method is returning an output to you. That output you can use anywhere. You call the method and the method will give you output. So that is the difference between void and without void. So static method syntax without void. See that. Access modifier, static, data type. In the void place, what is coming here? Data type is coming. Then method name, parenthesis, curly bracket, calculations plus logical statements, and return the value. See, the return keyword is not here in the void methods. But without void methods, the last statement must be a return keyword before closing the end curly bracket. So what are the two changes here? One is void place, a data type will come.
Data type
In the body
and
method,
ends with
what you will get? A
return.
keyword.
But
What
return
you
value.
want to return? You have to tell what you want to return. That value you give. So that's the return. After you have to give what value you want to return by this method. That's the static method without void. Non-static method syntax without void. Access modifier, data type, method name, parenthesis, curly bracket, calculations plus logical statements, return value, curly bracket ends. So that's all about void. Any questions on this void keyword?
Ramesh, please go to that non-static methods. Downstep non-static methods. Okay. What if data type?
No, just
And
static
method name.
keyword won't be there. Everything.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay, got it.
Okay. Any questions?
No, Ramesh. Good.
All are good? Yeah. So that's why I'm telling each keyword I'm explaining. These are in your entire automation, how many days you are, that keywords will come. Static, that keyword will come in the whole automation life. You will keep on using them. That's why I'm going word by word. And if you are strong with this theoretical, and coding is very easy. The coding you cannot understand theoretical. If you read and you can understand there while coding time. How to use how to create a static variable, how to create a static method. Syntaxes, if you know, you can create them. So without knowing syntaxes, you cannot do the coding. That's not possible. Okay, main method. Main is one of the method, that's it. Java created that method. It's a built-in method in Java. The program execution begins from there only. And the naming conventions of any method is, if method name contains one word, all letters should be lowercase. One of the example is main method. So one word only, right? That's why all lowercase. And method name after parenthesis is mandatory for the method. See that? Click parenthesis and the parameter. Type parenthesis, 2 parameters. But there are data types are missing, but data types you have to give. Rule 2. If a method name contains more than one word, first word all letters should be in lowercase. From second word onwards, each word first letter should be in uppercase, and don't provide any spaces between the words. And each word, so you have to write like this. Protected, static, void, see access modifier, static, void, method name. Click and wait. This is the one method name. So click is the first word. That's why all lowercase. And second word onwards, each word first letter in capital letter. So this is how to create the methods. And method name after immediately parenthesis must be there. If you want to give parameters, you give the parameters. Parameters syntax is data type, parameter name, curly bracket and curly bracket ends. Start and end curly bracket. Method name must be followed by parenthesis and then curly bracket start and end must be there. Method name should be a verb. Why we are calling a verb? Because it performs the action. So it does the calculations. That's why method is a verb. Your verb name you have to give. Use lower camel case for naming the methods, like set first name, get first name, get last name. So this is the one. Where you can use this parenthesis. You can use this parenthesis method name after first point. And you can use in the object creation for the class. This is the constructor we call this. So class name after where you will create a object, that object line you will use parenthesis for the constructor. This is called constructor. And control structures, all control structures, if parenthesis, while parenthesis, for parenthesis, switch parenthesis. And another place typecasting. So that time also you will use parenthesis before the right side variable. So these are the places you will use parenthesis. Yesterday I explained this already. So method body. So after parenthesis, method body will start. And method body inside you will write a logic and statements. Method body inside you can create the objects. You can write the logical statements. You can declare variables, local variables. You can do a print statements. These are all the part of method body. So calculation, so method calls, so print statements, so variable declaration, object creation, all you can do within the method body. So that's all about a basic structure of thing. Please go through this all these questions and answer these questions and practice these programs and try it out. Okay. Now let's move on to the once you join back, I'll so explain next data types. So any questions before stopping this? If you have any questions, I'll